Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India NewsHour, India's voice to the world. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. Coming up in the next hour. In his monthly radio broadcast, Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterates Pahalgam victims will get justice and perpetrators will face harshest punishment. The National Investigation Agency takes over Pahalgam terror attack probe. All existing valid visas issued by India to Pakistani nationals stand revoked from today. At least 9 killed as car rams into a crowd in Canada's Vancouver Street Festival. Driver taken into custody. Trump raises doubts over Putin's commitment to end Ukraine conflict. Fears that the Russian leader is tapping him along while carrying out strikes on civilian areas. And in soccer, River Plate and Boca Juniors, two of the most popular and successful teams in Argentina, clash in the world's most fiercest rivalry. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, in the 121st episode of Mann Ki Baat aired today, delivered a powerful address touching upon national security, scientific progress, humanitarian missions and environmental initiatives. DD India's Antara Sinha has more.
Opening with a strong condemnation for the recent terror attack in Pahalgam, Jammu and Kashmir, the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi called it a cowardly act by those disturbed by peace returning to the valley. Addressing the April edition of his Mann Ki Baat program, PM Modi assured citizens that justice would be served, stating that the enemies of peace would face the harshest response.
आतंकी और आतंक के आका चाहते हैं कश्मीर फिर से तबाह हो जाए और इसलिए इतनी बड़ी साजिश को अंजाम दिया। आतंकवाद के खिलाफ इस युद्ध में देश की एकता, 140 करोड़ भारतीयों की एकजुटता हमारी सबसे बड़ी ताकत है। यही एकता आतंकवाद के खिलाफ हमारी निर्णायक लड़ाई का आधार है। हमें देश के सामने आई इस चुनौती का सामना करने के लिए अपने संकल्पों को मजबूत करना है। हमें एक राष्ट्र के रूप में दृढ़ इच्छा शक्ति का प्रदर्शन करना है।
The Prime Minister also paid tribute to veteran scientist Dr. K. Kasturirangan, recalling his monumental contributions to India's space achievements and educational reforms. PM Modi hailed the country's meteoric rise in the global space race, highlighting ISRO's record-breaking missions and the explosive growth of India's private space startups.
भारत जिन सैटेलाइट्स का उपयोग करता है उनमें से कई डॉक्टर कस्तूरीरंगन की देखरेख में ही लॉन्च की गई थी। उनके व्यक्तित्व की एक और बात बहुत खास थी जिससे युवा पीढ़ी उनसे सीख सकती है। उन्होंने हमेशा इनोवेशन को महत्व दिया। कुछ नया सीखने, जानने और नया करने का विजन बहुत प्रेरित करने वाला है। डॉक्टर के कस्तूरीरंगन जी ने देश की नई राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति तैयार करने में भी बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाई थी। डॉक्टर कस्तूरीरंगन 21वीं सदी की आधुनिक जरूरतों के मुताबिक फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग एजुकेशन का विचार लेकर आए थे। देश की निस्वार्थ सेवा और राष्ट्र निर्माण में उनके योगदान को हमेशा याद किया जाएगा।
In a significant public advisory, PM Modi launched the Sachet app, a disaster management tool that delivers real-time alerts on floods, cyclones, and earthquakes in multiple languages.
सचेत ऐप भारत की नेशनल डिजास्टर मैनेजमेंट अथॉरिटी ने तैयार किया है। बाढ़, साइक्लोन, लैंडस्लाइड, सुनामी, जंगलों की आग, हिमस्खलन, आंधी, तूफान या फिर बिजली गिरने जैसी आपदाएं हो, सचेत ऐप आपको हर प्रकार से इन्फॉर्म और प्रोटेक्टेड रखने का प्रयास करता है। इस ऐप के माध्यम से आप मौसम विभाग से जुड़े अपडेट्स प्राप्त कर सकते हैं।
Reflecting on India's rich history, he recalled milestones like the Champaran Satyagrah and the Dandi March, urging citizens to take inspiration from freedom fighters and build a stronger nation in the spirit of Amrit Kal. The next edition of the Mann Ki Baat program will air in May. Antara Sinha for DD India.
Prime Minister Modi started his radio talk show Mann Ki Baat with the Pahalgam terror attack. He assured the nation that the killings of innocent people would be avenged. DD India's Vishal Barrister brings you this ground report.
I'm here in Javanagar area of Srinagar and people are hearing Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat. Prime Minister mentioned about the Pahalgam attack and how when Kashmir was on its way to success and development, everything looked all right. This gruesome incident has shamed humanity and also shook the people and the spirit of Kashmir. What do you have to say about the Prime Minister's Mann Ki Baat?
The message that Prime Minister Narendra Modi sir has given to the nation, and it's a strong message to the terrorism that terrorism in any form cannot be accepted anywhere in India, including Jammu and Kashmir. And we are truly disheartened with this kind of incident. And this incident is not just only on the land of the Jammu and Kashmir, it's on the land of the India.
When the Prime Minister says that a befitting reply would be given, people from Srinagar are asking for justice. How do you react to this statement of the Prime Minister?
Prime Minister has already given a message before 2 days in the media. He says that we will not support to any terrorism in here in Kashmir. And Prime Minister also convey to the people of India will fight against the terrorism. Prime Minister giving a strong message to all people from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. We will not spare the militants and we will not spare the terrorism here.
Now, when we talk about the economy, the peace in the valley, in the state of Kashmir, and Prime Minister also giving starting his Mann Ki Baat with the Pahalgam attack. So, how do you react to it?
I think it's a coward attack by the terrorists in the Pahalgam Valley. This is the so much heinous action taken by the terrorists in there. So we stand with the people of India and we fight for the terrorists and terrorism.
So there you heard, this is the voice of Kashmir here in Srinagar. We fight against terrorism, we fight for humanity, and they are all emotionally quite connected with what the Prime Minister said 2 days back, a few days back from Bihar. And here he started off his Mann Ki Baat with the Pahalgam attack. With video journalist Mohit Uike in Srinagar, this is Vishal Barrister for DD India.
The National Investigation Agency has taken over the investigation into Pahalgam terror attack following orders from the Union Ministry of Home Affairs. NIA teams, which have been camping at the terror attack site since Wednesday, have intensified the search for evidence. The teams, overseen by an IG, a DIG and an SP from the Anti-Terror Agency, are examining the eyewitnesses who had seen the horrifying attack unfold before their eyes at the peaceful Baisaran Valley. The eyewitnesses are being questioned in minute detail to piece together the sequence of events that led to one of the worst terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir. The entry and exit points are being closely scrutinized by the investigating NIA teams for clues to the modus operandi of the terrorists. The terrorists, aided by the forensic and other experts, are checking the entire area thoroughly for evidence to expose the terror conspiracy that led to the heinous attack that has shook the nation. Meanwhile, security forces have intensified their operations across Jammu and Kashmir. Police is working closely with the Army, CRPF and other agencies, carrying out widespread search and cordon operations to dismantle terror networks. On Sunday, the house of Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist Farooq Ahmed Tidwa was blasted in Kupwara district of North Kashmir. Farooq is currently in Pakistan and involved in working with Pakistan Army to kill innocent civilians in Kashmir. Further, in Tral, security forces demolished the house of Amir Nazir Wani, an active JEM member. Amir, who had joined the terrorist ranks about a year ago, was identified as an active threat in the region. While in Shopian, two-storied residential house of active terrorist Adnan Shafi Dar, affiliated with the TRF outfit, was also destroyed. In Pulwama, two house belonging to another active terrorist, Amir Nazir, was destroyed in Dharamdora. In another development, intelligence agencies have compiled a list of 14 local terrorists actively operating in the Union Territory. According to sources, these individuals aged between 20 to 40 years are actively aiding foreign terrorists from Pakistan by providing logistical and ground-level support. The identified operatives are reportedly affiliated with three major Pakistan-backed terror outfits: the Hizbul Mujahideen, the Lashkar-e-Taiba or the LET, and the Jaish-e-Mohammed or JEM. Among them, 3 are associated with Hizbul Mujahideen, 8 with LET, and 3 with JEM. The agencies are engaged in finding links of these 14 terrorists with the 5 terrorists who attacked the tourists on the 22nd of April. All existing valid visas issued by India to Pakistani nationals stand revoked from today. The move comes in the wake of the terror attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam that claimed 26 lives and left several injured. In all, 294 Pakistani nationals and 727 Indian nationals have crossed the Atari-Wagah border till Saturday. India has revoked all existing visas issued to Pakistanis except long-term visas, diplomatic and official visas with effect from Sunday. All medical visas issued to Pakistani nationals will be valid only till the 29th of this month, and no new visas will be issued in the revoked categories. And joining me are my colleagues Gurmeet Singh, who is in Atari, and also Vishal Badistow is joining us from Srinagar. To you first, Gurmeet, tell us about the latest situation at the Atari border.
Rahul, first of all, we just want to tell our viewers that today was the last day for the Pakistani nationals who are carrying ordinary visa, and they had to return to their country back. So since morning there were a lot of Pakistani nationals who came in and to cross over the border. So last family which has come to the integrated check post, that was about in afternoon at 2:30. So they came inside the immigration office, and after that all the Indian nationals who were there in the Pakistan, they started coming out of the integrated check post. The whole process started in the morning, and a large number of Pakistani nationals reached the integrated check post. The very first BSF officials, they checked the passports of the Pakistani nationals, and after that they were given entry inside the immigration office. All the formalities were completed, and the Pakistani nationals then went to the Pakistani immigration department. They got their immigration checked over there, and after that they entered to their country, their homeland. The same way the Indians have also got their immigration checkup at the Pakistani side of immigration, and then they got their immigration done. After getting that done, they reached to the Indian immigration, and after that still there are a lot of Indians who are coming out of the integrated check post. So if we go to the numbers, the tally of the Pakistani nationals and the Indian nationals, the total tally goes somewhere about of the Pakistani nationals somewhere about 294 by the yesterday evening. However, the Indian who have crossed over this border till now by the yesterday evening, that is 727. On the very first day, on the 24th of April, the Pakistani nationals who left the country, the number was 28, which was quite low. But after that, on the second day, within 24 hours, on 25th of April, 191 Pakistani nationals crossed over the border, and on 26th, the number was little low. But today, it is expected expected that the Pakistani nationals number would increase. On the same side, the Indians who have came back to their homeland on the 24th of April, their number was 105. On the second day, after 24 hours on 25th of April, their number reached to the tally of 287, and on the third day that number reached to more than 300. But now it is expected that the number of the Indians would also increase who have come back to their homeland. Now there are three visas that you have already discussed. One, SAARC visa. There was little confusion among the minds of the people regarding SAARC visa. SAARC visa stood cancelled on 26th of April, and due to that only some people who were here on the ordinary visa were thinking and confusing it with their ordinary visa. Earlier the people were thinking that they can stay here till 1st of May or before that. So there was a state of dichotomy pervading, but later on with the Ministry of External Affairs notification and Ministry of Home Affairs notification, it was quite clear that the SAARC visa would stand cancelled, revoked on 26th of April. The same way ordinary visas, all the visas including student visa, tourist visa, pilgrim visa, visa on arrival, all these visas would stand cancelled, revoked on 27th of April. So by today afternoon, a lot of Pakistani nationals have left the country, and in the evening the data will be compiled, how many Indians and how many Pakistanis have made movement and how many of them have crossed the border. Late evening the data will come up. And specifically if we talk about Punjab, Punjab is having 553 kilometers of international border with Punjab, with Pakistan, out of which 500 kilometers is a land border and approximately 53 kilometers is a riverine border.
Right.
And if we specifically talk about districts of Punjab, starting from Pathankot to Gurdaspur, Amritsar, Taran Taran and Fazilka and Firozpur, out of these all districts, 3 districts are there which are having retreat ceremonies at their integrated checkpost, at their border posts. So Atari Waga and Husainiwala and Sadki post at Fazilka, they are having retreat ceremony on daily basis. But 3 changes have taken place. The number 1 change is that India is not opening up its side of gate from 24th of April. The second change that has taken place, that shaking of hands between the BSF and Pakistani Rangers is not taking place. And the third change which has taken place is that the whole retreat ceremony is taking place inside the Indian premises and the Pakistani premises only.
Or I will leave it there. Gurmeet Singh at Atari, thank you for your inputs. Appreciate it. Right, let me now go across to my colleague Vishal Barrister, who is standing by in Srinagar. Vishal, do you have an update for us on the anti-terror operations in the Kashmir Valley?
Well, absolutely, Ramesh. The house of Farooq Ahmed Tidwa has also been demolished in Kupwara. And let me ask my cameraman, because today is Sunday and I'm here at the Dachigam National Park. So there you see the board of Dachigam National Park. It used to be flooded with tourists, though the numbers have gone down, but still we have a lot of tourists here. And I have with me some tourists who have been long waiting for you to come to us and speak. Let's ask with a youngster first. What's your name?
My name is Prithvi.
Okay, Veer, how long have you been in Kashmir and what has been your experience?
I've been in Kashmir for 4 to 5 days now, and it's quite beautiful. The valleys are beautiful, the gardens are beautiful. I don't see any sort of disruption happening here. I'm enjoying my stay.
He is enjoying his stay here. I have another gentleman here. Please come and face the camera. What's your name?
I'm Vikram.
Vikram, please face the camera.
I'm a localite here.
He's a localite here. He's all smiles. Vikram, what do you do?
We're having a hotel business here.
Okay. So, how has been the reaction of the tourists? Have they gone back or they are still trickling in?
Yeah, we have many cancellations as of now. But the good sign is we can see many tourists right now. They are arriving. The thing which happened, it was very bad, and we all condemned the incident. But I think People should visit Kashmir. Srinagar is beautiful. Srinagar is safe. There is nothing to worry about. I think you can see many tourists here. Locals are also visiting the park. So I think there is by no means you should not visit Kashmir.
Well, absolutely. I have some people who are coming from Odisha. क्या नाम है आपका?
I am Ayush Kumar.
आयुष, कितने दिन हो गए आपको यहाँ पर?
It's been 4 to 5 days.
And are you enjoying a stay here?
Yes, yes.
Where all did you go?
I have been to Gulmarg, Sonmarg, and now in the Chigam National Park. I just will visit.
Okay. Who is with you? Your father?
Yes, father.
What's your name?
My name is Shobindu Naik. I am from Bhubaneswar, Odisha, and I came here from 22nd April, and I stay here up to 29th April, and I enjoy a lot because the nature is here is mesmerizing, and it is enthusiastic. I will appeal to all those that want to see the beauty of the Kashmir. They should come here, and the hospitality is very good here. No threats. I don't feel any threats here.
So there you heard from the tourists here. They are enjoying their stay here. They are saying, come to Kashmir. Do not let the heinous or nefarious design of the enemy to succeed, because this is our country. These are our people. They are welcoming. The localites are welcoming you with open arms, with their warm hospitality. So this is the situation right now. Ramesh?
Vishal, thank you. Vishal Barrister reporting there from Srinagar. In other news, Pakistani army troops violated ceasefire again along the line of control in Kashmir for the third consecutive day on Sunday. According to the Indian Army, on the intervening night of April 26th and 27th, unprovoked small arms fire crossed the line of control in the areas opposite Tutmari Gali and Rampur sectors. The Indian Army responded effectively with appropriate small arms fire. The Indian Navy stands combat ready, credible and future ready in safeguarding the nation's maritime interests anytime, anywhere, anyhow. Naval ships undertook successful multiple anti-ship firings to revalidate and demonstrate its readiness of platforms, systems and crew for long-range precision offensive strike. The director of the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation, Kash Patel, has expressed grief over the Pahalgam terror attack and reiterated United States' full support to India. In a post on X, he said, and I quote, "The FBI sends our condolences to all the victims of the recent terrorist attack in Kashmir and will continue offering our full support to the Indian government. This is a reminder of the constant threats our world faces from the evils of terrorism. Pray for those affected. Thank you to the men and women of law enforcement who answer the call in moments like these." Members of South Africa's Indian Diaspora came together in a show of solidarity, holding a special event in response to the deadly attack in Jammu and Kashmir earlier this week. DD India's Nazneen Ismail reports.
Diaspora, together with South African Indians, gathered here at the Consulate General of India in Johannesburg to honor the victims of the recent Kashmir attack. The gathering was a moment of silence, reflection and unity.
On behalf of the government and people of India, we extend our heartfelt gratitude to all the distinguished guests, members of the Indian diaspora and friends of India who have joined us here today in a show of solidarity during this difficult time. We are gathered here to express our profound condolences to the victims of the heinous terrorist attack that occurred on 22nd April 2025 in Jammu and Kashmir, India. Our thoughts and prayers are with the families who lost their loved ones, and we pray for the swift and full recovery of those who were injured.
Attendees came to pay their respects, gently placing flowers and lighting candles in front of photographs of the victims, a quiet, heartfelt tribute to lives lost too soon. In the soft glow of candlelight, sorrow met solidarity as each flame whispered a prayer for peace.
Our real prayer from my heart, hopefully to all of yours, is that you should have the strength and the courage to deal with this loss, and that Hashem should bless all of us with a world of peace, with a world without such evil and without such wickedness.
the world is standing by with India, but India must take appropriate steps. Not necessarily war, but they will have to take steps. However, there is one thing I want to mention. Out of the 29 people that were killed, there was one person there. He was a Muslim gentleman, and one would never know how many lives he must have saved when he tried to stop the perpetrators in stopping their nonsense and to leave the innocent people alone. They pushed him aside and shot him dead. So one can never understand how many lives he must have saved as well.
Wherever it may be and in whichever country, we do not wish for these organizations to hijack communities, to hijack religions, and to speak on behalf of people that they don't know themselves. And we find today that as we symbolically come to mark a time of respect for the souls that have passed, and that the world has to push more forward towards the path of peace.
As tensions rise in South Asia, events like these remind us of the humanity that bind people across continents. For DD India, South Africa, Johannesburg, I'm Nazneen, reporting on a community that stands together for peace across borders and beyond tragedy.
In New York City, members of the Dawoodi Bohra community in Queens came together to pay heartfelt tribute to the innocent victims of the terrorist attack in Pahalgam. In Brampton, Canada, members of the Indian Diaspora also came together to pay tributes to the victims of the Pahalgam attack. Hundreds of Canadians from diverse communities gathered on a frigid night in Toronto to stage a massive candlelight vigil and rally condemning the recent terror attack at Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir. Organized by the Hindu Forum Canada and several other Hindu organizations, the event on Saturday brought together over 500 Hindus, Jews, Baloch, Iranians and other Canadians who marched through Toronto's streets and calling on the Canadian government to officially designate Pakistan as a terrorist state. A solemn vigil saw leaders from all participating communities urging immediate and decisive action. The gathering denounced not only the violence in Kashmir, but also the broader threat of Islamist jihadi extremism. Hindu organizations joined by Jewish and other communities staged the protest to pay their tributes to the victims of the terrorist attack. Still to come on DD India NewsHour. The United States and Iran report progress in nuclear talks, agree to meet again next week. Campaigning hots up ahead of Canada's parliamentary election. And South Korea's opposition party names its candidate for snap presidential election.
We explore various ways in which the delicate balance between urban development and environmental responsibility can be found.
We should have a target today that a minimal certain percentage of land must protected as for agricultural and horticultural purposes.
Our urban agriculture programs are designed to tackle food security and meet the nutritional needs of the poorest.
In future, caves will become more attractive as they have a direct impact on the fight against climate change.
The government is going to implement a scrapping policy designed to take all polluting vehicles off the road to reduce India's carbon footprint. So we are converting existing petrol motorcycles and scooters into electric ones.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. In his monthly radio broadcast, Prime Minister Narendra Modi reiterates that the perpetrators and conspirators of the Pahalgam terror attack will face the harshest response. The National Investigation Agency takes over investigation into Pahalgam terror attack. All existing valid visas issued by India to Pakistani nationals stand revoked from today. At least 9 killed as car rams into a crowd in Canada's Vancouver Street Festival. Driver taken into custody. And Trump raises doubts over Putin's commitment to end Ukraine conflict. Fears that the Russian leader is tapping him along while carrying out strikes on civilian areas. Tragedy struck Canada's Vancouver on Saturday night when a car rammed into a street party, killing at least 9 and injuring several others. The incident comes days before the country's national election scheduled for the 28th of April. The crash occurred shortly after 8 p.m. local time and when members of the Filipino community gathered to celebrate Lapu-Lapu Day, honoring a 16th century anti-colonial hero. Authorities confirmed multiple deaths and injuries, with the suspect taken into custody at the scene.
A lone suspect, subject male with one vehicle, drove through a crowded community event occurring near here. That male was taken into custody at the scene by the crowd. It was a Filipino community event. The crowd immediately called police. We then took custody of the subject, and he is now in our custody being held.
Prime Minister Mark Carney expressed devastation over the horrific events, offering condolences to the victims and their families. Death toll has risen to 28 in the massive explosion and fire at Iran's largest port, Shahid Rajai, near the Strait of Hormuz. The fatal incident has also left 800 people injured. Rescue operations are underway as the fire is under control but not extinguished. Footage showed rescuers carrying injured individuals on stretchers and a firefighting plane dumping water to combat the blaze. The cause is unclear, but officials suspect a fire at a chemical storage depot may have triggered the blast. The port, a major hub for container shipping, suffered significant damage with debris and flames widespread. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian has ordered an investigation into the port explosion, expressing sympathy for the victims. The incident drew condolences from the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, which expressed solidarity with Iran. Russia's President Vladimir Putin has offered Iran help in dealing with the aftermath of a blast that rocked the port of Bandar Abbas and expressed his condolences over the loss of lives. According to the Kremlin, President Putin had conveyed his words of sincere sympathy and support to the families of the victims, as well as his wishes for a recovery to all those injured. And now to updates on the Ukraine-Russia conflict. U.S. President Donald Trump and Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky met privately at the Vatican during Pope Francis's funeral to discuss ways to revive stalled efforts to end the conflict. After departing from Rome, Trump published a social media post in which he took a tough tone against Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump questioned Putin's desire for peace and said Putin should not be bombing civilian areas in Ukraine. He said secondary sanctions on Russia could be necessary because of the ongoing strikes on civilians. Trump raised doubts about Putin's intention to end the conflict, proposing that stronger financial actions might be necessary because of the ongoing casualties. Now, Russian authorities, let's get you some more news from Russia now, where an agent of the Ukrainian Special Services was arrested. Kremlin blamed the suspect for the killing of Yaroslav Moskalik, the deputy head of the General Staff of the Russian Armed Forces. The military officer was killed hours before US President Donald Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff met President Vladimir Putin in Moscow. After an intensive third round of discussions in Muscat, the United States and Iran have reported progress in their nuclear talks, agreeing to meet again next week. However, differences remain as both sides pursue a deal aimed at easing long-standing tensions. Is an account of the latest developments.
The United States and Iran wrapped up a third round of nuclear talks in Oman on Saturday, with both sides calling the discussions serious and productive. They have agreed to reconvene next week as part of continued efforts to narrow gaps on a potential deal.
The atmosphere of the negotiations was generally very serious and businesslike. We stayed away from major discussions. This does not mean that all problems have been resolved. There are differences in both major and minor issues and in the details.
Talks were conducted indirectly through Omani mediators, with Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and US Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff leading their respective delegations. A senior US official described the meeting as positive and productive, while Oman confirmed another high-level session is scheduled for May 3rd.
This time around, the negotiations were considerably more serious. Eventually, our discussions delved in more detailed and technical areas. The presence of experts was incredibly beneficial.
Expert-level talks in Muscat earlier laid the groundwork for a potential framework focusing exclusively on nuclear issues. Araghchi reiterated that discussions were strictly limited to Iran's nuclear program and sanctions relief.
Let me be clear. We are only discussing issues related to nuclear power. We will not negotiate on any other matters.
While both Washington and Tehran are committed to pursuing diplomacy, gaps remain wide. Iran has indicated willingness to accept curbs on its nuclear work in exchange for lifting sanctions, but refuses to surrender its enriched uranium stockpile, a red line in the talks. In Tehran, public sentiment remains cautiously hopeful, with many citizens eager for a breakthrough that could ease economic hardships.
Personally, I'm hopeful because the news so far that we have seen in the media was positive, and we would like there to be an agreement. But they are not explaining the details of this agreement. It seems like the media has not able to get the information, but yeah, anyway, people are hopeful and want it to happen.
Since 2019, Iran has accelerated uranium enrichment to 60% purity, moving closer to weapons-grade levels, according to the UN nuclear watchdog. Amid these challenges, both sides now face a narrow window to bridge deep-rooted mistrust and reach a lasting agreement. Bureau Report, DD India.
Its openness to a comprehensive agreement to end the ongoing Israel-Hamas conflict. A senior Hamas official revealed Saturday that the group is prepared to offer a prisoner exchange and accept a 5-year truce. The discussions were held with Egyptian mediators in Cairo, marking a potential breakthrough in the 18-month-long conflict. Despite continuing airstrikes, Hamas insists that any truce must guarantee a permanent cessation of hostilities. Meanwhile, the group rejected an earlier Israeli ceasefire offer, calling it insufficient. Japan's Prime Minister Ishiba Shigeru embarked on a 4-day trip to Vietnam and the Philippines, aiming to strengthen regional ties amid US President Donald Trump's trade tariffs. Ishiba emphasized Southeast Asia as a key growth center, acknowledged the economic impacts of US tariffs on the region. He also planned to address growing tensions in the East and South China Seas, with China's increasing aggression a key issue. Ishiba's trip follows China's President Xi Jinping's regional tour and highlights Japan's efforts to bolster security and economic cooperation with its Southeast Asian partners. South Korea's leading opposition party, the Democratic Party, named Lee Jae-myung as their candidate for the snap presidential election slated to be held on June 3rd. If elected, Lee will succeed Yoon Suk-yeol after the former president was ousted over his imposition of martial law late last year. The Democratic Party leader is regarded by many as the top contender. The veteran politician lost to Yoon in the 2022 presidential election by the slimmest of margins. Lee has led his party to a landslide victory in a parliamentary election last year and enjoys strong support from Liberal voters. With just 2 days before Canada's federal election, Prime Minister Mark Carney leads a stunning Liberal comeback, fueled by Canadian anger over US President Donald Trump's tariff threats and talk of absorbing Canada. Carney, who replaced Justin Trudeau in March, has focused his campaign on confronting Trump and branding Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre as inexperienced. Carney's message of calm over chaos resonates with voters in Toronto, while Poilievre, campaigning in British Columbia, warns of the dangers of another 4 years of Liberal rule. Polls show a narrowing lead for the Liberals at 42.5% compared to 38.7% for the Conservatives. Analysts highlight the role of early voting and Trump's unexpected influence, suggesting that Carney may achieve one of the most dramatic political turnarounds in Canadian history. We now get you a detailed report on key parties and electoral system of Canada.
The upcoming Canadian federal election is shaping up to be a pivotal moment in the country's political landscape. With Justin Trudeau stepping down as Prime Minister earlier this year, the Liberal Party is selecting a new leader, Mark Carney. The leadership change has injected fresh energy into the Liberals. Canada's political landscape is diverse, with several parties shaping its democracy. Let's take a look at the main ones. The Liberal Party of Canada, it's known for its centrist and progressive policies. The Liberals have been a dominant force in Canadian politics. Conservative Party of Canada, positioned on the centre-right, the Conservatives focus on fiscal responsibility and traditional values. Pierre Poilievre is the current leader. New Democratic Party, the left-leaning party advocating for social democracy and progressive reform, led by Jagmeet Singh. Bloc Québécois, the regional party that promises Quebec's interests and sovereignty, led by Yves-François Blanchet. The Green Party of Canada, focused on environmental issues and sustainability, led by Elizabeth May and Jonathan Pedniault. People's Party of Canada, a newer party with a focus on libertarian and populist policies, led by Maxime Bernier. Canada, unlike most countries, uses a first-past-the-post system, where the candidate receiving the most votes in a riding is declared the winner. The system rewards political movements with concentrated support and means a party can gain a majority with as little as 39% of the vote. If 3 or more parties are contesting a seat, candidates can win with a remarkably low percentage of the vote. The election will determine who leads Canada through inflation, housing instability, a healthcare crunch, and a deteriorating relationship with the United States.
All right, now take a look at what else is making news around the world. North Korea's regional industry factories from 20 cities and counties gathered in Pyongyang for a special exhibition from April 22 to 26. The event aimed to boost product quality through public feedback, encourage the sharing of advanced technologies, and spark healthy competition among regions. In Austria's Tyrol province, scientists are DNA testing around 100 honey samples each month to study their composition and detect possible adulteration. Torrential rains triggered flash floods across southwest Oklahoma, with traffic cones seen drifting through the waters in Norman, the state's third largest city. The National Weather Service warns that severe storms are expected to continue with a slight chance of tornadoes. 200 drones lit up Barcelona's night sky on Sunday, forming images of a late Pope Francis and the Montserrat Virgin. The dazzling show marked the 1000th anniversary of Montserrat Abbey's founding, delighting locals and tourists alike. Still to come on DD India NewsHour. In the Indian Premier League, Delhi Capitals will aim for another win to move closer to playoffs as they lock horns with Royal Challengers Bangalore. And Liverpool aim to seal a record-equaling 20th Premier League crown as they take on Tottenham at Anfield.
geopolitics and trade deals, economic challenges amid development, hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium, we'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran. In sports news, in the Indian Premier League today, Delhi Capitals will take on Royal Challengers Bangalore at their home ground, the Arun Jaitley Stadium. Delhi Capitals, having lost only 2 of the 8 games, will aim for another win to move closer to playoff qualification. Meanwhile, Royal Challengers Bangalore, currently ranked 3rd in the points table, will look to secure 2 more points to strengthen their place in the top 4. Indian table tennis players Manush Shah and Dia Chitale won the WTT Contender Tunis Mixed Doubles title in Tunisia. Seeded 3rd, Manush and Dia batted past Japan's second-seeded duo of Sora Matsushima and Miwa Harimoto 3-2 in a thrilling final. Harimoto was part of Japan's silver medal winning team at the Paris 2024 Olympics. The victory marked India's second mixed doubles title at a WTT contender event since the format was revamped in 2021. Manika Batra and Satyan Ganasekaran had previously triumphed at the WTT contender in Budapest. And now to updates from the Madrid Open. 24-time Grand Slam champion Novak Djokovic crashed out of the Madrid Open on Saturday. The Serb, seeking a 4th Madrid Open title, was beaten 6-3, 6-4 by Italian Matteo Arnaldi in the second round. Arnaldi fired 5 aces and saved 4 of 5 breakpoints to win the match in 1 hour and 41 minutes. Djokovic has lost 3 consecutive matches. The Serbian fell to Jakub Mensik of the Czech Republic in the Miami final and then lost to Alejandro Tabio of Chile in his Monte Carlo opener. Arnaldi took advantage of Djokovic's 32 unforced errors as he secured the upset win. In women's singles, second seed Iga Swiatek advanced to the round of 16 by delivering a 6-4, 6-2 win over Linda Noskova of the Czech Republic. The defending champion controlled the match against Noskova, who famously stunned Swiatek in the 3rd round of the 2024 Australian Open. Swiatek next faces number 13, Diana Schneider. American Coco Gauff also moved to the round of 16. 4th-seeded Gauff had the easier time with a 6-2, 6-3 win over Ann Lee. Gauff converted 5 of 9 breakpoint opportunities in her win. She won 8 straight games at 1 point. On to soccer now. 2 giants of Argentine football, Boca Juniors and River Plate, are all set to face each other on Sunday in a new Super Clasico. With both teams already qualified to the playoff stage, the match will purely be centered around bragging rights between city rivals. River and Boca are not just rivals in Buenos Aires, they represent the largest football club in Argentina and are considered 2 of South America's mightiest teams. An impressive 80% of Argentines are fans of either club. This annual spectacle features star players, passionate supporters and thrilling drama. Liverpool are primed for a Premier League title as they aim to seal a record-equalling 20th English crown against Tottenham at Anfield on Sunday. A draw with Tottenham will take Liverpool to a title-clinching 80 points, which would be out of reach of second-placed Arsenal. Arne Slot's men have been hot favourites to bag the title, and the manager believes they have a big responsibility to seal the deal in front of their own fans. The Reds' last title 5 years ago was slightly anticlimactic as it came during the COVID-19 pandemic, when Anfield was nearly empty when the trophy was presented because of restrictions. Right, joining me is my colleague Narayan Singh. Narayan, Liverpool is on the brink of a title. They need just 1 point against Tottenham Hotspur to seal the Premier League. How do you look at Arne Slot's era at Liverpool?
Ramesh, if we talk about Liverpool, this season they have played a fantastic football, and if towards the start of the season, when anybody would ask a Liverpool fan that what are the chances of Liverpool winning the title this season, nobody would have given him a chance. Even the Opta supercomputer put him on the third place for the title this year, because there was no, their previous manager Jurgen Klopp, there was no, we can say, the marquee players, and also they were lacking because last season they finished third and before that they were fifth. So the chances of Liverpool were very less winning a title, and also the way Man City was dominating the European football, and they dominated since the last 4 seasons. 4 titles were won by the Man City. So the chances were Liverpool were very less to win the EPL, but the kind of football they played throughout the season, especially after the October-November, they won the crucial matches on the crucial point against the teams like Chelsea and Arsenal, and that was the, we can say, the turning point of Liverpool this season. And also we can say that a smooth transition from Jurgen Klopp to Arne Slot, it was the, we can say, the key in their success. And we know that what kind of football Liverpool played under Jurgen Klopp, heavy metal football, where a raw pace and raw intensity is required, and also the art of winning back the possession, especially the Gaggerpin, the football style they called. And if we talk about the Arne Slot, the kind of football, it is more composed, more calm, and more tactically sound. We can see the balance between attack and defense. We're talking about Jurgen Klopp. The football was very intense. It is totally based on attacking and the counter-attacking. But here, the way Slot brought the balance between attack and defense, that was the key to the success. And they too have the world-class player. Mohamed Salah is the leading goal scorer in the EPL right now, and he done an exceptional job for them.
Right.
And their veteran midfielder, the way Wendell Van Dijk performed for them, and their goalkeeper Alisson Becker. So a composed and totally balanced team, and hope and today it will be a grand day for them, because in 2019 we saw, 2020 they won the EPL title after a gap of 30 years, and in the Premier League era it will be their second title, and
Indeed.
they will just equal to Man United.
Or I will leave it there. Narayan, thank you. Narayan Singh reporting on that much anticipated match. In another news, Barcelona secured a thrilling 3-2 win against rivals Real Madrid to win Copa del Rey Clasico final on Sunday in Sevilla. Barcelona won the first major trophy of Hansi Flick's reign as coach, and a record-extending 32nd Spanish Cup in a thrilling extra-time encounter. Pedri opened the scoring for Barcelona, but 2 Real Madrid goals from Kylian Mbappe and Aurelien Tchouameni pulled the European champions back. However, Ferran Torres struck in the 84th minute to take the game to extra time. Drama unfolded in the final moments of the game as Jules Koundé scored in the 116th minute, leading Barcelona to a record title win. As we get close to the Mega Wave Summit, the finalists of the Animation Filmmakers Challenge have been announced, and Triparna Maiti from Mumbai has been recognized as one of the top 42 finalists. These finalists were selected from across India, each chosen for the strength of their stories, visual style, and potential global impact.
Writer-director and animation artist based in Mumbai, Triparna Maiti's animated short film The Chair has been lauded as a visual treat, which showcases her ability to craft compelling narratives through animation.
My film The Chair is a stop-motion animation film. It is about a little girl, a patriarchal chair, and the kind of complex, rebellious bond that builds between these two characters. In my native place, there is always a chair or a piece of furniture in front of the house which always belonged to the patriarchal member of the family or the head of the family. And that chair was very amazingly designed, like intricate designed, and it has thick arms and everything. And I always used to get fascinated how long I can sit on that chair. So it is coming from that memory.
A graduate in multimedia, Triparna further honed her skills by completing a postgraduate diploma in animation cinema from the Satyajit Ray Film and Television Institute. She believes Waves will serve as a powerful launchpad for animation filmmakers, offering them valuable opportunities to showcase their work, connect with industry leaders, and bring meaningful stories to a global audience.
Waves as a platform is, it's a great venture. I feel like it's incredible to know that they are supporting artists and especially short films. I have been knocking in number of doors for making short films, especially animation, and that has been a real challenge. And something what Waves is doing is giving us the platform to pitch is beautiful. It is a huge step in terms of bringing the medium into the perspective, which was never done before.
Her work not only highlights pressing societal issues but also exemplifies the power of storytelling in fostering awareness and empathy. Triparna's participation in Waves 2025 underscores her commitment to using animation as a medium for social commentary and change. Shyama Mishra for DD India.
And that's all for this edition of DD India NewsHour. Let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can get the latest news and updates on the DD India mobile app. It's available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code now on your screen to download it. And we'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Ramesh Ramachandran from all of us here in New Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India NewsHour.